How we going, everybody? Enjoying the weather today or yesterday? Hopefully it's raining while you're watching this as well, because we're loving the rain. We got a good burst earlier on, and I'm having a look at our camping garden here with our citrus trees. You can't see them anymore. Everything's out of control. Look at the weeds. Hot weather and water from the skies above has made everything just grow out of control. Citrus, here's a little tip about citrus. Apart from every tip that I've given you so far, be careful with your citrus trees, because if you haven't been watering them regularly, on a regular basis that is, and then you've been watching my little feeds that I do every morning, and you decide to go out and start watering, no doubt I reckon your tree would have dropped a few leaves by now. So if you haven't watered, then you start watering, all of a sudden the tree will go into shock and that will drop its leaves. Now these ones here dropped them because they dehydrated. And I've got no irrigation in here, and I've got a lot of weeds, and it's a shambles. This is ready to be cut back to Campmin. If I could show you, where's a good spot? Over here. Have a look at this. See that? That's all the new growth. See that? These flowers are spent, the bees are still coming in, trying to get a little bit of the pollen and all things like that, but the new growth is coming up, so all this is going to get cut down. The citrus trees have bounced back, as I've just shown you here, because they dehydrated, but a little bit of water and rain from above has made them settle down. And this is our best location for citrus trees. But I'll quickly show you one other mandarin tree that I planted in a nice little location, was not getting irrigated. But as soon as I finished planting herbs around the garden and irrigated it, it dropped all its leaves. It went into shock. It got scared. And this is what can happen to your trees, folks, especially your citrus. That's where it all happens. It adapts to an environment. It may not be the best environment for it, so it may not grow, but it does need the drainage. Now, I flooded this garden. You can see I've got mint here. I've got 5 or 6, actually more than that, about 10 or 12 different types of mint growing in this garden. And I irrigated it as I've done everything else with it. That's the thyme garden, that's the mint garden, and that's lavender and rosemary over there. And they're all going to grow and flourish beautifully, but they needed to be irrigated because they're small plants. So another tip, if you've got small plants next to large trees and they need a lot more water than a large tree does, you may cause a bit of problems, and that's what can happen. Now, it's come good since. It freaked out, dropped its leaves, but you can see the new growth on top. Now, I can cut that back, but I'm just going to leave it for a little bit longer to see how well it re-establishes itself. So I'm not too concerned, because I'm actually happy because it's taken off, as has that rescue tree there. Yellow as the sun it is still. The lemon tree's taken off, and the little orange or mandarin over that corner there have taken off. Now, folks, I've been getting a lot of emails. I'm talking about hundreds a day. 200, 300 emails a day, and I just want to put it out there for you. We're going to try and get through them as fast as we can, or as fast as I can, because I physically answer every single one of those as fast as I can. Now, we all do have a live, but I'm also going to offer another option here, is to do a live video stream to all of you out there, so you can start feeding in your questions in real time, and I'll try to answer them as fast as possible, as we do on radio and we do on television and all other avenues of our marketing and media. And I thought maybe we can bring it out there to you, so rather than waiting for me to go to 3AW and talk to you and making a phone call and all that, we're going to do a live video here on Facebook. Now, follow us and like us on Facebook so you can find out, because we'll be posting when we'll be going live. Now, if you can't join us at that time, don't worry, because this is something we're going to do on a regular basis, maybe once, twice a week, for you to be able to join us and send in your questions in real time, and I'll try and answer as many as possible as I can in that time. And I'm not going to ignore all the emails. We're going to answer them, but just be patient with us, because there are literally hundreds of them. And I still got to do my garden, folks. I can't ignore this. This is priority for me, as is the family. From me, Vasily, Maresi, and don't forget our website, vasilisgarden.com.